against the white walls. TV antennas in the back, the back, the back, the back, the back, the back.
Good morning and welcome to Community Focus. I'm Faith Daniels. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. And as always, it is our honor and our privilege to always enlighten you about things that are going on in the community. And we have the pleasure to be joined this morning by some young men who have started an organization that reaches out to the Dayton Public School System and organizes kids and gives them great information and curriculum regarding bullying, regarding physical fitness, and really some great life applications. So please introduce yourself.
Hello, Dave. My name is Joshua Knowles.
And Joshua, tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, I am the marketing director for MVP Dynasty, and what my job is to make sure that our community events are promoted well and make sure that our in-school events are promoted well.
And also we have with us.
Hello, Dayton. My name is Andre Geiger. I am a marketing representative for MVP Dynasty. Pretty much my job duties is just to, like piggybacking off of what Josh said, to make sure that our community events is all in place and everything is structured and going well, as well as some of our curriculums that we put together for our in-school workshops.
Well, Andre, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about the programming that you implement with the Dayton school system, and what grades do you work with?
Pre-K through 8th, but we pretty much focus on 4th through 8th grade is our core base. The workshops that we do and we go over is like hygiene, self-esteem. Some of the things in self-esteem that we talk about are like the different levels of self-esteem, bullying, how that ties into bullying.
Absolutely.
You know, your appearance.
Absolutely.
Now, the age range that we focus on is 4th through 8th. Reason being is the world is so fast-paced. So things like hygiene is prepping them how to properly wash themselves. And hair, you know, all of those things.
Giving them some real life skill applications.
Definitely. It's definitely needed. We also, aside from their mental, we also work out their physical. You know, so we do have a lot of physical activities that we do have.
That's important.
Like I say, the virtual fitness, where we do the Michael Jackson game with the Wii. You know, get them up, get them active. We also have Zumba. We have a lady that comes out and she does Zumba for
That's
ladies.
That's be super fun. Oh, super fun for the kids.
They love it. But as a whole, we come together, and we also, like I said, we grew up childhood friends. Mick, myself, Josh, a couple other people. We all grew up playing basketball in the community. So that's how it all started out. Is us seeing the things and the changes that was going on in the community. And you know, a lot of people always say, you know, well, you know, it's nothing to do, or from the kid standpoint, because we was like that as well. It's nothing to do, it's nowhere to go. But as we got older, growing up, being young men, we in the community, we was seeing the changes, and you know, you have to almost ask yourself, what are you doing about it?
Absolutely.
So that goes into MVP Dynasty. MVP stands for Most Valuable Program. So it is a foundation. It's family oriented. You know, we put it together and we try to do our part. And to say, okay, if you ask that question as an adult, what are we doing about it? You know, that's our answer, MVP Dynasty.
That's wonderful. Let me ask you this. When you connect with kids on the school level and you have to do something to get their attention at first, because they're going to see you as another group that's going to come in and try to tell them something, going to try to teach them something, what is that thing that gets them really motivated and gets them engaged?
Well, it's being able to be relatable. We come from the same neighborhoods. You know, a lot of our youth that we help, you know, we know their parents. You know, went to school with some of their parents. So I mean, it's great. But that's you know, we come in there and they see our shirts and our shoes and different little MVP apparel and like I say, basketball gets their attention, boys and girls.
Well, that's an interesting approach, because traditionally, when we're looking at kids now, we try to steer them in a direction that is going to develop them emotionally, psychologically, and intelligently, in addition to, because everybody believes they're going to the NBA. They all believe they're going to go to the NBA, the NFL, or they're going to be a rapper. And they think they have a shot at this. Now, from what I'm understanding with your program, you not only get their attention with what they're definitely interested in, but then you give them the diversion that gets them into the different programming aspects of what you offer.
Exactly. We also highlight and we also tell kids if they play instruments, you know, I mean, it's all kind of things. One thing that does separate our program, you know, we cover all those different basics, and that's what makes it relatable. you know, kids, you know, it's like, wow, you know, they you know, we tell our life stories, and they see we big kids too as well.
Right.
But, you know, it's more of like a mutual respect that we gain with the kids and the people in the community.
And that's a powerful piece. Now, Joshua, when you have events, and a lot of people know, or maybe they don't know, how hard it is to not only organize the event, but then execute it with excellence, so that when kids are there, not only do they have a wonderful experience, but they want other friends to have that experience as well. Tell me a little bit about the events that you do outside the schools.
Well, our biggest event outside the school is our annual Spring Fest that we throw. We started this last year. It started out as we looked around our community and we noticed that there aren't as many events going on, festive events going on, that we had when we were growing up. So we want to be able to provide something for this generation of young people growing up, give them the opportunity to be festive here in the Dayton area, give them that opportunity to have fun, but we also provide that same guidance that Andre was just speaking of in our in-school program. We provide that at our events as well, because we see things going on in our community that we want change. And we believe that change starts with the youth.
Absolutely.
We focus on tomorrow. So whatever we do today, it represents tomorrow, always.
Well, let me ask you this. With the events that you have going on throughout the year, are they quarterly, or do you just set out at the beginning of the year, and there are things that just kind of pop up all along the way?
Typically, there are things that pop up along the way because we're a fairly new nonprofit organization.
Okay.
So some of these ideas are brand new, first time around things for us, and we're kind of learning as we go. But we're learning quickly, and I think that we're able to relate to the youth of today. There's not much of a generational gap between ourselves and the youth of today. So we can remember being their age.
Absolutely.
We can remember the things that we did that we loved about Dayton, about the community in general.
Sure.
And we want to be able to provide that to them. We also want them to know that you are growing up. You're a kid for a short amount of time,
True.
And then it seems like it's forever. You're an adult.
And then that level of responsibility really has to be escalated, and in some areas of the community it has to be accelerated, because the communities are not what they were when we were kids.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things that when you give it life practical application to it, a lot of the kids that don't want to play basketball, they don't want to do something, they're trying to stay alive every day.
Absolutely.
They're trying to make sure that life does not imitate art and they don't end up a statistic.
Right.
How can organizations connect with you if they're going to have an event and they would like for you to come and be a part of it?
Well, we're always open to collaborations, always. In fact, our most recent event, we threw a summer basketball camp for 4 weeks this summer at the Wild School in Residence Park. We collaborated with Mr. Tim McKinney Jr. I want to give him a shout out. We collaborated with Tim and his nonprofit organization, True Vision Sports. And we did that by going to the schools and networking.
Sure.
He's actually a teacher at WOW. So that was just perfect for us. It was an easy collaboration, but if there are any groups out there that would wish to collaborate with us, please send us an email, mvpdynasty@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page. We've reached out to Nan Whaley using our Facebook page. She's come out to many of our events. So that's our main source of communication is social media.
And that's another thing, that when you think about how to connect and how to really engage the youth of today, that's where you're going to have to start, because that's where they are. They live in social media. Does your organization, or will they shortly, have an opportunity for kids to get involved with you on social media, where there are chats, where there are interactive opportunities where kids can connect with you guys?
Most definitely. We have a lot of kids that we do when we go to the schools, a lot of kids and young men and young ladies that reach out to us that are being bullied and a lot of things like that. And we always encourage the kids to, reach out to us with any concerns, because we're in the classroom and on the courtroom, but we want to be outside of that as well. A lot of kids, their home situations and things like that are rough, and we understand that. Going back to growing up in the same situations and same communities. So
Sure,
we
sure.
know exactly the situations of what's going on around and the things that kids are going through. So, you know, they can reach us on Facebook. We do follow a lot of kids that are troubled. You know, we come to the schools and check on them, make sure that, like I say, put an end to this bullying, you know, and try to really, you know, shape and mold, you know, young citizens.
And that's a tremendous undertaking. The days of old where we were probably a little bit older than you guys are, but we were impacted by certain things in the community. But now, with social media, with cell phones, with the internet access, there's a new level of bullying. It's not just being talked about at school anymore or on the bus.
Right.
It now follows you through social media.
Right.
It can follow you.
It's called cyberbullying.
Exactly. And when you're dealing with that, do you work with any other organizations that once you have identified, yes, this is definitely a problem in this school with these particular individuals, that you can then relay that to where actual things can happen to stop it?
Definitely, we like Mr. Nall said, you know, we are reaching out, and if any other nonprofit organizations do want to collaborate on that, we're open for all of that. We're open because it's about the youth and the kids. It's not MVP, just us. You know, we're not selfish like that. You know, it's, the whole point of all of this is for the whole community to grow together.
Right. Well, I was thinking more importantly, actual follow-up. That you've identified problems, then is it the Dayton Police Department? Is it the Dayton Interactive Department? Is it the department that does things just like this, that have an opportunity to interact with the kids before it becomes a crime, before it becomes physical abuse, before it becomes these things? The Dayton Police Department intervention team would be something that these could be referred to. We've been to the school, and this is what we saw. This is what they showed us online. Now it goes to the next level, and there you go. You guys follow up with us.
Exactly.
And if I could, usually we go straight to the school at hand. That because it's difficult for the teachers to do their job, which is already enough,
definitely,
and also focus on the social aspects of students, but, you know, behind the scenes. That's when MVP Dynasty comes into play, and we make sure that the principals at these schools know what's going on. Because like Mr. Geiger said, there are students that reach out to us on a consistent basis on Facebook about things that are things that are going on. I'm being bullied, fresh off of a program with MVP Dynasty. The very next day, I'm being bullied. This, that, and the other is happening. And we'll communicate back with that student, and we'll make sure we come up to the school, have a conference with that student, as well as administration at the school. That's the way that we focus on it. And I think that those ideas that you just put out there are stuck in my head now.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Those are excellent ideas. So we will definitely keep that documented as a way to.
Glad I could help. Glad I could help. You guys have done a number of things. You've connected with a number of organizations, been extremely active in the very short time that you have been engaged in this process. What do you see for MVP Dynasty a year from now?
Bigger and better events. We are our worst enemy in a sense. But because it's all about to progress to make the best time and the best experience for the children.
Absolutely.
And for everybody. You know, I always keep saying that parent involvement, because that's, you know, I see a lot of kids, they're lost, they don't have that, you know, and so definitely to get the parents out, it just gets everybody going, everybody juices going and flowing, and it creates a lot of positive space.
Absolutely.
For a lot of positive things and stores, and I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. But like you said, it starts with the youth.
It starts with the youth, and you're closer to the youth than I am age-wise. Right. So I'm sure the relatability is something that is, you can definitely bounce on that. Absolutely.
Definitely.
What I want you to do is give us your email addresses, your Twitter, your Facebook. So if there's an organization that's listening, if there's a parent that's listening right now that would like to volunteer, that would like to make themselves available, if there is a men's group, a women's group, youth group from a church that would like to support you, how can they connect with you?
Facebook is a great tool, a social media tool for us, as well as Twitter. But our website, mvpdynasty.com, And linking up with us on Facebook is a great way to immediately get in contact with us.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So what do you have planned for the rest of the year so that parents can, I'm a mom, so that means I have to put it on the calendar. I have to focus. I have to plan. What do you have going on for the rest of the year that parents and families can get engaged with?
Well, for us, the year is just getting ready to start.
Okay.
Because the school year is the beginning of our year, and we are extremely excited. We're planning back to school events. Okay, we want to have a skating fundraiser held at Orbits, and we're working out those details right now. We'll also be participating in a fundraiser event at the Dayton Convention Center on August 11th, I believe, and that's when the students are able to get the free haircuts and free hairdos and things like that for the young ladies, and we're also going to have a booth at the upcoming African American Cultural Festival.
That'll be a great way to get the vision out to the community as well. It's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. And we want to be more involved in the schools this year. We want to have in-school programming that we'll be collaborating with Dayton Public Schools on, after-school programming, things of that nature, so that we give the students more opportunities to stay involved with things of positive nature as opposed to what is happening in the streets on a consistent basis.
It is definitely a magnetized force that draws them away. And I'm sure that you will see that the more positive relatability that you have with the kids, the better the grades will be, the better the social interaction will be, the better the classroom atmosphere will become. In a teacher's voice, I think what we will begin to see with an organization like yours is that schools will reach out because schools' budgets are being cut consistently. Less and less time for in-class instruction. More importantly, if I've got to teach so much, there's not a whole lot I can do to help you develop and grow socially. Now, I think that is horrible. I think it is just absolutely one of the worst things that we can do to our children is to avoid or deny them the ability to grow and mature socially in a social setting, which is school. So, but when we're focused on the education process, sometimes you have to cut out something in order to make sure that the application of the curriculum actually happens. With an organization like yours, being able to step in and help with that piece, I think will be absolutely incredible, and that the Dayton Public Schools will be able to definitely benefit from.
TV and television.
Go MVP! Go MVP!
Go MVP marketing team at it again. You know, so there's myself, Mr. Andre, of course the CEO.